Hi, my name is Chu Dongpan. I have a GuardTag ID CPAN65 and this is for CS6440 Stretch Assignment number 7. The topic is PKI for healthcare. So PKI is public key infrastructure. So this is used for encrypting your key, a key with a private key, and then generating a pair for a public key, and then the other side can use the public key to decrypt the message. So first of all, I'll demonstrate how to stand up a private PKI chain using open source tools. I choose to use OpenSSL, and this is the reference. Now let's go to this web page. Here I'm going to use a Linux machine, but I have a Windows, so I'm going to use a virtual machine which install the Linux here. Okay, now to do the OpenSSL to generate a private key infrastructure, we need to create a simple root CA, and then it's a CA certificate, and we then use the root CA to generate a simple signed CA, and then we'll issue an email protecting certificate to employee, and this is general steps. And first of all, let's clone this repository so that we can use all these commands. I'm gonna do this inside the terminal window, and I'm copying it, and we'll clone this. And now we have this example folder. We'll go into CD into this folder, and the next thing is to create a root CA. So first of all, we'll go into this folder and generate necessary folders. So we'll go in there and generate. Now let's take a look at it. Alright, so this is the several folders I just generated. And then the next step is to create a database. So we need this database so that we can generate the CA request. And I'm gonna copy these commands just for simplification. I'm not gonna type in all these commands. So we go in there, copy all these files, and then echo it. Alright, the next step is to create a CA request. Now we use OpenSSL command, and I'm going to copy this command. We have configure, and then out, and then key out. So we have the key here. So I'm going to copy this command into the terminal window. Now it asks for a passphrase. Here I'm going to use a AAAA as the passphrase. AAAA passphrase. That's it. Now next step is to create a CA certificate. So the same thing, an OpenSSL command. So here we have a configure command, and in using this thing we just generated, and then out of this certificate as output. And extensions, we use this extension. And the passphrase was AAAA. Yes. Alright, so now we have generated the necessary files for the root CA. Now the next step is to generate a create assigning CA. So it's very similar. We first created directories and then copy these commands into a terminal. That's it. And second step is create a database, just similar to the root CA. We'll do the private CA here. That's it. Next thing is to create a CA request. This is also similar to the root CA. So we generate, by this way we can generate a signed CA key. And we do this, copy it here. If you ask for the passphrase, let's do BBBB and BBBB. And that's it. And next one is to create a CA certificate. We can use this to generate the final CA certificate. And copy it here and BBBB. Good. So that's it. Very simple. Now next we will be doing a open operating signing CA for email request. So the first thing is to use the OpenSSL to do this using this key for this guy Fred. So you copy it here, and you see this is configure file and out of the certificate and the key out for Fred.key. Here use CCCC as passphrase. CCCC. Now we need to put in all these domain components. Let's say this domain component we use ABC, and second domain component we use YUY. Third component we use RAR. Well, this depends on the domain you have. So here is just an example. So organization name, let's say Gatech, and unit name 1001, and common name, let's make the full name, say it's me, so I use Chudong. And then email address, I can use my email address, and that's it. That's how we create this certificate, the key. Now next one, we need to create email certificate. To do this, we do using this command. So here we have a configure file, and in the one that we just generated, and then we use out for the certificate, and then extension, email extension. So this one, the password key is CCCC, I think. Okay, and that's it. The next one, we create this we create this actually that's it, because it's so for the email protection it's already done. And next one is for the creating TSL server request. So we are not doing it here, and that concludes the first part to demonstrate how to stand up a private PKI key chain. Now the second part is to demonstrate how to connect virtual machines, 2 clients and 2 servers using VirtualBox. So these servers could utilize an open source OS, so it's a Linux Ubuntu. Here, this is the reference from YouTube from this guy, and I'm gonna follow his instruction. The first thing is to open up the virtual machine. So here I already installed the Ubuntu for both of these Ubuntu machines. So to connect them together, first of all, you need to in the VirtualBox preference, you need to create a network. So here I already create one, and the network is necessary for it to do it. So for example, I create another one, then I add it using a name. You can name it whatever it is, and then to get the real IP address, you need to write the IP address here. So similar to this one that I just written, you can use whatever numbers you want. So I'm going to remove this one as it's useless here. And then for these virtual machines, you need to do the setting and then network and attach it to a net network, or else it won't connect. So and here you should also use the network and attach it to net network. Okay, so because I have some network issues here, I'm going to show you how he did it. So basically what you need to do is to let me show you. First of all, you need to log in to you power on these two machines, and then you log in. Use the IF configure to get your IP address. So if your IP is not, you don't get the correct IP address, you need to set it up in this command, nmcli con show. So it shows you this your network connection. Because it's not connecting right now, you need to use the next command, which is nmcli con and up and in, and this is network name, and that's it. Now next, you can use this modify command so that every time you reboot the machine, the network will be up, automatic connect. And the last step is use the it's already done, so that you can get a new IP address. On the next machine, you should do a similar thing. So basically the same thing, and then get the IP address, and then next you can ping it. After both machines have the IP address, you can ping the other one using the other one's IP address. And if the ping is successful, you can use the SSH root at this IP address and to sign in. And this is how you connect two virtual machines. And this concludes the second part, demonstrate how to connect the virtual machines. Now the next part is to demonstrate how to create secure communications between each of these two nodes with the use of PKI. Because of my network connections, I cannot do the thing here in real, so I'm gonna review this online paper, how to use public key authentication with SSH, and I'm gonna put the link here so that you can access it. Basically, it's pretty simple. First of all, we need to generate the private key and public key. Use the method which was I just showed you in the first part. You generate those keys, and then when you connect it, the second machine, say you generate the the public key and private key in the first machine. So on the second machine, you need to copy or get a copy of the private key of the first machine. So I'm not gonna show all of this, but the basic thing is you copy the SSH key to your second machine, and then you can use the connection SSH connection to connect it. Basically, you can you just use the SSH command to connect the first machine, and then it will pop up a window to ask you to select the public key, and you select that public key inside loaded, and then if the two machines can be connected, so it's relatively safe to use the SSH connection using the private key and public key. So yeah, so that's how you create secure communications between each of these two nodes. Now the last part is discuss how the use of these demonstrations would help the furthering of the use of the PKI in the healthcare. So the original assignment is to write several paragraphs to show this discussion, but here I'm gonna discuss by word, and the reference here in this paper, this author show the public key infrastructure issues in an academic healthcare settings. So in my opinion, the PKI, the first most important thing in healthcare in the technology part is to save and secure the personal informations. So when people are using the healthcare system, they have to input a lot of private informations for different patients into the system, and when other people's, they could have, it's possible for other bad guy to purposely infiltrate your system and get the personal information out of it. So the secure information security is very important here. So the public key infrastructure PKI can be used in the healthcare system, so that when the doctor or the nurse input the patient information into the system, they have to use the PKI system to get CA and the public key and private key in place, so that it's much more secure from other third parties. And of course you have to have a good software like the IT, so that they can generate a good PKI system. Some companies, they can generate their own private CA instead of using the public recognized CA. So sometimes that's not good, because of human errors, the company's own private CA could be problematic. So that could create some problems. So I think we should be using a good trusty third-party CA system. And that is my discussion of how the use of these demonstrations could help with furthering the use of the PKI in the healthcare. The main issue, the take-home point, is that information security is very important, and use PKI we can use to secure a lot of personal informations. And here is the reference I use in this video, and I'm gonna put this reference in the PDF too. And thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you, and have a good night.